Hey everyone, it's Riley, and today I'm setting up November in my bullet journal. So for the month of November, I chose to do a fall leaves theme, and the doodles themselves are super simple. I also paired those simple doodles with some stacked calligraphy like I did in the month of September. So if you do want to try to recreate this theme and the stacked calligraphy is just a little bit intimidating, do not worry about it. You can totally replace that with a different font. I've done themes just like this one in some of my custom journals where instead of doing stacked calligraphy, I'll just use my stamps or I'll just do smaller calligraphy or whatever. So if you do want to plan along with me, all you'll need are some pretty basic supplies. You can grab your journal, a few markers. I used a white gel pen. I think that really just pulls the whole thing together. And then if you do want to use stamps or washi tape or anything like that, you can grab that as well. And before I start this plan with me, I did just want to remind you guys that I have been working on this custom bullet journal for one of you guys to win, and I'm going to be giving it away really soon. So how it works is every month I've been putting my own 2021 theme into this custom journal for 2022. So this fall leaves theme for November 2021 is going to be for November 2022 for one of you guys to win. And like I said, I'm giving this away really soon. It's going to be in my December plan with me, so that's just about 1 month away. So if you enjoy this content or you want a chance to win this journal, please subscribe here to my channel so that you can catch my next plan with me video where I'll be giving away a custom bullet journal for one of you guys to use for all of 2022. So here's the journal that I've been using for the second half of 2021. It's from Archer and Olive, and I am so obsessed with their journals. The pages are super thick, they're 120 GSM, and they are stark white, and those are two things that I really look for in a journal. So if you're looking for a discount to purchase an Archer Olive journal for yourself, you can head over to the description box. I'm going to try to put discount codes for pretty much all of the products that I use in case you're interested in using them for yourself. So as you can see, I wrote out the title for November in this sort of stacked calligraphy style. And if you're gonna try this, I would definitely recommend like practicing it in advance to see where the letters fit and see how they fit together. I actually got this sort of the pattern, the way that they're stacked, I don't really know what to call it, but I got this idea from a different girl over on Instagram who wrote November with pretty much the same style. I did change it up a tiny bit, so I'm going to link her account down below because if you like stacked calligraphy, you will love her stuff. So anyways, I just took some washi tape and made a little border here, and trust me, that washi tape is not going to stay on here. It's just to make it so that I have a nice crisp border around my doodles because I'm just kind of concentrating them here in the middle of my cover page. So you can see I've got two Tombow dual tip brush pens, and I'm just drawing two types of leaves all over this box. So as you can see, and as I mentioned earlier, the doodles themselves are so simple. I'm doing two types of leaves and I'm coloring them in, and that's seriously the main doodle for this month. The stack calligraphy, yeah, it's a bit more challenging, but like I mentioned earlier, if you want to replace that and do like a mini calendar of November in the middle and then write out November in a font that works better for you, I've done that too in custom bullet journals and I still think it looks awesome. So there you go, those are all my little leaves, and honestly I feel like you could leave it where it is, but I decided to go ahead and add some more things. So as you can see, I've got my white gel pen here, and I'm just adding some really simple white designs onto these leaves just to make them a little bit more exciting. Moving on now, I'm taking my black fine liner, and this one is from Mr. Pen, and I'm using it to just kind of add some sparkles all throughout. So sort of diamond shapes, circles, dots, a bunch of little sort of sparkly things all around. And again, I like to go right up to that washi tape border so that when I do remove the washi tape, it's really crisp. Now the last thing I'm going to add in is I'm taking these two Tombow dual tip brush pens. So this one is my newest color that I just added to my collection. It's the color 026. So I'm using that and adding a few colored dots, and then I'll use my green here as well and add some colored dots. So that's pretty much it for the cover page. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the washi tape. So this washi tape actually, it doesn't stick very well. I've always had trouble with it sticking, so I thought it would be the perfect one for this. But you can see that once you remove it, you just get like a nice, crisp, clean line, and the rest of the page is so white. I've really been loving this look lately. I've been doing it in a lot of my custom journals. So the final thing that I decided to do with my cover page, and honestly this was just kind of an afterthought, is I decided to turn it into a Dutch door because why not? So I trimmed off a little bit of the edges. But yeah, this part, definitely optional. It looks pretty much the same whether you cut it into a Dutch door or not. I just thought it would be fun because I did a Dutch door in September and lots of you guys seemed to enjoy it and I also enjoyed it for myself. So moving over to the left side of the page, I'm doing my usual memories spread. So I'm using my dark gray Tombow dual tip brush pen and writing memories in that same bouncy calligraphy font that I used for the title. Now, you guessed it, I'm doing the exact same thing, but this time instead of doing it in a box in the center of the page, I'm just moving it over to one side. So if you're just getting started with journaling, or maybe you're in a rut and you're just trying to figure out what works for you, I would highly recommend just sitting down and making a list of maybe just like two or three things that you're really hoping to get out of journaling. So ways that you're hoping that bullet journaling will benefit you. I know for me, my top three things are: number one, I want to use it as a planner for my productivity. I work from home, so I really need that. Number two, I want to use it to capture memories. I'm super nostalgic, so having a place to write down all the little things that happen, that's a must for me. And then number three, I like to use it as a creative outlet. So as we go throughout all these monthly spreads, you'll see that every single page I include helps serve those purposes. So the memories page here helps me remember all the fun things that happened this month. My calendar is obviously for tracking my productivity and helping me with planning, same with my tasks list. So once you know why you're journaling, you'll have a much easier time coming up with spreads that are actually going to work for you, instead of just doing maybe some basic spreads. Like for example, I used to do a mood tracker, even though I do not want or use a mood tracker. So you can find spreads that work for you just by making a list of why you actually want to journal. So moving on to the back of the Dutch door here, I'm adding a little page that I don't really do on camera ever, and this is my sort of prayer requests page. So I do like to make a point every morning of praying for different people in my life and for different just needs in my own life as well. So I'm making two boxes here, one for personal prayer requests and then one for requests for family, friends, and things like that. And this will just be a page that I come to each morning as I'm doing my devotions, so that I can keep track of the different things that people have asked me to pray for. Now at the bottom here, I'm adding a little sticker, and this sticker is from Journal Say. They have so many stickers and they're for a really great price. So I've never really been like a sticker person, and I still want to try not to use too many stickers in my journal, because one of my main goals here on my channel is making bullet journal themes and spreads that can be recreated by anyone. So they've got to be simple and they've got to have really minimal supplies. You know, like anyone with a couple markers and a black pen could make this theme. Whereas with stickers, it's different. Unless you have the exact same sticker pack, you're not going to be able to recreate this theme. So even though now I have all these cute stickers from Journal Say, I want to still prioritize simple doodles here on my channel. So anyways, moving over to the top now, I am just writing down one little verse, and I only took part of the verse because I don't know if you guys have ever tried this, but when you have a really long quote or verse that you want to write in your journal, I feel like it gets so ugly so fast. Like if I'm going to write a verse or a quote, it's got to be miniature. Otherwise, I just don't like how it looks. So I wrote down the first part of this verse because it's enough to kind of trigger that in my mind so that I can rehearse the rest of it as well. So that's pretty much it for this page. The last thing that I'm going to do is go in and add a grid. And I'm not totally sure how I ended up feeling about this page. In my head, I think it looked a lot less busy, but once I added the grid, I feel like it looks a little bit too full. But whatever, it'll still serve its purpose, and now I learned that maybe next time I shouldn't add as many little things. I wanted to keep this part in because, see, I just made a mistake. Bam, covered it with white gel pen. You can't even see it. Sorry, I just had to mention that because people ask me in almost every video, what happens if you make a mistake? And for so many of my mistakes, the answer is just white gel pen. All right, so moving on to the next page here, I've got my monthly calendar, and I have been doing my calendar the same all year long, and it works so well for me, so I'm just gonna keep going with it. So I'm using this light gray marker from Tombow and drawing out a nice grid calendar. So my calendar boxes are 6 dot grid spaces tall and 5 dot grid spaces wide. I found that this is just the perfect size for me because it's enough space to write down multiple events in one day, but it also leaves me that nice big margin on the side that I'm gonna fill a little bit later with some other helpful things. So while I'm over here drawing the same pattern that I've already drawn multiple times in this video, I do just want to mention the giveaway bullet journal that I've been making for one of you to use in 2022. So I know I showed it to you guys at the beginning of this journal. I'm not actually going to flip through that journal here in this video. I did flip through it in October. So in October, I flipped through all the months from January till October. This video, I'm not going to show it again, but I am going to link my October video right up here in case you want to see how that journal is coming along so far. And then, like I mentioned, in my December plan with me, which is going to come like probably a week or a week and a half before December starts, that's where I'm going to be giving away this journal. So in that video and the one before, maybe even, I'm not sure, still nailing down my schedule, but around that time, about a month from now, I'm going to do a full flip through of this entire journal and chat about it a bit and leave instructions for the giveaway. So please do stay tuned for that video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little bell so that YouTube will remind you when that video goes live. I also will say, I get asked so often which white gel pen is my favorite because I've just had really great luck with white gel pens, honestly. I feel like for some people, they just never work, but for me, they do. This one that I'm using today is actually the Uniball Signo white gel pen, and I have not used this one in probably over a year because I got really hooked on the Mr. Pen white gel pens, and I still like those, but for some reason, my Mr. Pen white gel pen that had been working for me for so long just kind of quit, like it's not working anymore. So I decided to just pull out this old white gel pen that I had sitting around, and suddenly it is working so well. So it's super vibrant. It is quite a bit thicker though, like I can't really make thin lines with it. But anyways, all that to say, I know people ask me all the time which white gel pen is my favorite. Usually I say Mr. Pen, but in reality, I am jumping back and forth between white gel pens all the time. One of them quits working for a few weeks, so I start a new one. Then that one quits working, so I go back to my old one. It really just seems to be honestly kind of random which white gel pens will work and which ones don't, but I'm going to have a few of my favorites linked down in the description box. You can get them for quite a good price, so if you're looking for just a small thing to kind of make your journaling more exciting and take it to the next level, a white gel pen is what I would recommend because you can just add so much with one little gel pen. So there's my entire calendar page. As you saw, I made a to-do list and put down my YouTube posting dates. Now I'm moving over to the next page, and this again is a really functional productivity planning page. So this here is my tasks page, and I'm just drawing a bit of a table. So in one column, I'm going to have my YouTube tasks for each of the 4 weeks this month. Then on the other column, I'm going to have just other tasks that I need to do that week as well. And as you can see, I did make a mistake. I wrote 4 instead of 2. So all I did is I took some paper from what I cut off when I made that Dutch door. I took that and pasted it right over top of the 4. So I don't like making mistakes in this video, but I am kind of glad that I made 2 mistakes because I could show you number 1 for small mistakes. I love using white gel pen to cover it. But then number 2, if it's a bigger mistake, I just paste some more journal paper over it, and that works so well. So there's my little tasks page. Lots of space to write down the YouTube tasks and other tasks for each week. I will mention the stamps that I've been using. These are stamps from Paperwrld. So of course, I am gonna have those linked down in the description. But if you don't have stamps, of course you can use whatever font you want. If you wanna do just some printing or some calligraphy, or maybe you have a little sticker printer and you wanna print out the titles for the different things, you can definitely do that as well. So for the little doodles here, I did change it up a little bit. Instead of using my black gel pen to add those sparkles, I used my yellow Tombow dual tip brush pen, the fine tip, to do sort of some bubbles all around. And I will say I'm not a huge fan. I definitely like how it looks better with the little black fine liner sparkles. I think it's fine. I'm gonna leave it. I won't hate it throughout the month, but looking at it now, I'm like, man, the black gel pen sparkles looked way better. But anyways, just trial and error. Now moving over to the other side, this is a page that I've never really done before. But again, it's meant to help me with my productivity and keeping my day organized. So again, like I said, I work from home, and so I really need to build my schedule all by myself. There's nobody telling me what I need to do when. It's up to me to figure out what the best use of my time will be. So on this page here, it's kind of a routine page. I didn't totally know what to title it because I'm including a few things. So each of these boxes is going to serve a different function. So I'll talk about the bottom one first. The bottom one I'm going to call my daily focus box. So what I mean by that is I'm just going to write down kind of my major tasks that I want to focus on each day of the week. So on a normal Monday, I'm going to focus on custom journals. On a normal Tuesday, I'm going to focus on my YouTube channel. On a normal Wednesday, whatever, you know, so I want to write down something to focus on each day of the week. Then I feel like the top 2 are more self-explanatory. I've got my evening routine and my morning routine that I'm trying to be even more intentional with. Again, when you work from home, it can be so tempting to just sleep for an extra half hour, 20 minutes, and then ditch certain parts of your morning routine. So I'm just trying to write them down here so that I can kind of ingrain that in my mind and make sure that I'm practicing healthy habits every day. So those are all the different spreads that I'm using in this plan with me. Now let's go ahead and flip back through. We've got the title and kind of my prayer request spot. Moving over to the next page, I have my monthly calendar with a YouTube list and my task list. Then I've got my master task list for the month and my routine. Thank you all so much for joining me to plan November in my bullet journal. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what you're doing for the month of November, and I'll see you soon to give away that custom 2022 bullet journal.